Imagine you're standing in a small village. No skyscrapers. No technology. No massive army. Just a tiny city surrounded by enemies. Now imagine that same city grows so powerful that it conquers 3 continents. Controls over 60 million people. Builds roads that still exist today. And creates military strategy studied by modern armies. How? How did one small city called Rome become the most powerful empire the ancient world had ever seen? Was it their army? Their leaders? Their technology? Or was there a secret weapon that most people never talk about? Because here's the crazy part. Rome didn't become powerful overnight. They almost got wiped out multiple times. Yet every time they fell, they came back stronger. And that's exactly why Rome became unstoppable. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of how the Roman Empire rose from nothing to ruling the world. The city that shouldn't have survived. The story begins around 753 BC. According to legend, Rome was founded by 2 twin brothers, Romulus and Remus. Raised by a wolf. Fighting for power. One brother kills the other. And Rome is born. Now, whether that story is true or not. What is true is that Rome started as a tiny settlement in central Italy. Nothing special. No gold mines. No huge population. No natural advantages. In fact, powerful neighbors surrounded them. The Greeks dominated the south. The Etruscans controlled much of the north. Rome should have become just another forgotten city. But the Romans had something different. They were obsessed with one thing. Adaptation. Whenever they lost a battle, they learned. Whenever they saw a better weapon, they copied it. Whenever an enemy had a better strategy, they improved it. While other civilizations believed tradition was everything, the Romans believed improvement was everything. That mindset would change history. The machine called the Roman army. If Rome had a superpower, it was their military. Most ancient armies fought like crowds. Lots of soldiers. Lots of chaos. But Rome turned war into a system. A machine. Every Roman soldier was trained relentlessly. Marching 20 miles a day. Building camps every night. Practicing formations over and over. And unlike many armies of the time, Roman soldiers were professionals. This wasn't a temporary job. This was their life. Then came the Roman legion. A military unit so effective that historians still study it today. Legions could adapt during battle. Move quickly. Operate independently. And fight in almost any terrain. But here's what made Rome truly terrifying. When they lost an army, they built another one. And another. And another. Most kingdoms collapsed after major defeats. Rome refused to quit. One Roman saying captured their mindset. Victory belongs to the persistent. And nowhere was that more obvious than during their war against one of history's greatest generals. The man who almost destroyed Rome. His name was Hannibal. And he came closer to destroying Rome than anyone else. In 218 BC, he did the impossible. He marched an army, including war elephants, across the Alps. The mountains were brutal. Thousands died. But Hannibal made it through. Then he crushed the Romans. Again. And again. And again. At the famous Battle of Cannae, Rome suffered one of the worst military defeats in history. Tens of thousands of Roman soldiers were killed. Many believed Rome was finished. But Rome didn't surrender. They didn't negotiate. They didn't panic. Instead, they raised more armies. Kept fighting. and slowly wore Hannibal down. Years later, Rome defeated his homeland, Carthage. That victory changed everything. Rome was no longer a regional power. It was becoming a superpower. The secret weapon nobody talks about. Most people think Rome conquered the world because of military strength. But that's only half the story. Rome's real secret weapon was integration. When Rome conquered a region, they often didn't destroy it. They absorbed it. Many conquered people were allowed to become allies. Some gained citizenship. Others joined the military. Rome took enemies and turned them into Romans. Think about that. Most empires ruled through fear. Rome ruled through opportunity. People from distant lands could rise through Roman society, serve in the army, gain wealth, become citizens. This created something incredibly powerful: loyalty. As Rome expanded, millions of people had a reason to support the empire. And that made Rome stronger with every conquest, not weaker. Roads, engineering, and control. There's a famous saying: all roads lead to Rome. And in many ways, they did. Rome built over 250,000 miles of roads. These roads connected cities, armies, and trade routes. Messages that once took weeks could move much faster. Soldiers could be deployed rapidly. Merchants could travel safely. Ideas spread across continents. Rome wasn't just conquering land. It was connecting it. Then came their engineering marvels. Massive aqueducts, bridges, ports, public baths, amphitheaters. The Romans built infrastructure on a scale the world had never seen before. Their empire functioned because it was organized, efficient, connected, and remarkably modern for its time. The lesson of Rome. So, how did Rome become so powerful? It wasn't because they were the strongest. At first, they weren't. It wasn't because they were the richest. They weren't. It wasn't even because they always won. Because they lost plenty of battles. Rome became powerful because they mastered something most civilizations never did. They learned faster than their enemies. Adapted faster than their rivals. Recovered faster than anyone expected. Every defeat became a lesson. Every challenge became an opportunity. And that relentless ability to improve transformed a tiny city into one of the greatest empires in human history. But here's the twist. The same empire that conquered the world eventually collapsed. Because the forces that built Rome could not protect it forever. And that story might be even more fascinating than Rome's rise. So if you'd like to discover how the mighty Roman Empire fell, make sure to subscribe, and we'll explore that incredible story next. Because history isn't just about the past. It's about understanding why civilizations rise. And why they fall.